You guys do not even understand what I just went through to start filming this video. Hi guys, it's Casey and welcome back to my channel. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you saw me talk about the fact that I want to start a new series on my channel for the beginners. I think naturally we are all thinking, you know, everyone knows how to do makeup and like nobody cares to know the basics anymore. And based on a video I did on Instagram, let me know that there is still a lot of people that need some help when it comes to the basics of makeup, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And so this video is for you guys. It's for the beginners. It's for the people who, you know, just like, girl, I don't know what I'm doing. I am here to help you guys, even if it's like one person. That's what this series is going to be about. So today's focus is a brow. So I'm just going to be solely doing my brows in this video. That is it. Before we begin, you guys already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And turn on the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. And let's go ahead and get started. So this video should be fairly quick. I'm just going to let you know what I like to use for my brows, some alternatives that you can use, what can be replaced with drugstores, the brushes that I like to use, all that good stuff. Okay, we're gonna get into it. So the first thing, I tend to have like kind of, I don't have oily skin, I have dry skin, but I use a lot of oils, right? You might be oily. So what I like to do is actually mattify my eyebrows, because that's going to help the product just adhere to my brows just a lot easier. Now I do my brows all different types of ways, but today I'm going to show you like the most basic way that I like to do it, the most beginner friendly way, as well as the most common way, because most people do their brows this way. So first thing you're going to do is grab a translucent powder or just any loose powder. Now I do want to say I don't care where the loose powder comes from. In front of me I have the Fenty Pro Filter banana powder. This is what it looks like. It's just a loose powder, but I promise you, find any loose powder. I don't care. It doesn't have to be Fenty. It could be a drugstore powder. This literally does not matter. So I don't want you guys to stress and feel like you have to go run and buy stuff. Just find any loose powder, and this is just going to help mattify your eyebrows, right? So first things first, take any fluffy brush. I'm just using this one. It's a little dirty. It is. We're gonna get into it. It's a little dirty, and that's okay. And that is perfectly fine. We just need some type of brush, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is dip my brush in the translucent powder, and I am just going to put this on top of my brows like that. Just literally, look, I'm not even looking in the mirror, okay? Just put the translucent powder on your brows, so that way your brow product is going to adhere to your brows a lot better. And you can see like my brows look a little piece of ashy. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. So for the next step, this is when you are going to begin to fill in your brows, and I'm going to scoot a little bit closer. So personally for me, I like brow pencils. I like brow pencils because brow pencils tend to give you more of a natural look opposed to brow powders and pomades. And pomades are like the more like the gel. Those give a little bit of a harsher look, a little bit more intense, and I also just feel like they're not as beginner friendly as a brow pencil. So we are going to focus on using a brow pencil. So I am using the Benefit Precisely My Brow in shade number 4. Number 4 to me is the most universal shade. It's a really, really nice brown color. It works for brunettes. It works for people with like black hair. It even works for some blondes if you use like a light hand. I will say Benefit has a bunch of shades with a bunch of different undertones. So go into your local Sephora, Macy's, wherever they sell Benefit, and just swatch to see what color you think is best. I don't feel there is necessarily a right or wrong when it comes to brow color. If you're blonde and you like brown brows, that's fine. There's definitely ways to manipulate it, but I will say please stay away from black. Please stay away from black. We do not want Sharpie brows around here, okay? One thing that I really love about this brow pencil is how skinny it is. It's so small, so this is really going to help create the illusion of brow hairs. I prefer this over brow pencils that look more like a crayon, if you will, like it's just thicker. I find that this makes it a lot easier just to fill in my brows. It also comes with a spoolie on the other side. This is actually very, very important to have, and going to be a vital step in your brow routine. So after we've applied the translucent powder, I like to brush my brow hair up because I like to see the natural direction that my brow hairs are going in. So I'm gonna brush the hair up using the spoolie that comes with the pencil. So there's all different types of brows. Some people have naturally thick brows, some people have partial brows, and I have partial brows. So what that means is I have a lot of hair in the front, and then it tends to get a little bit more sparse at the tail. So we're going to focus most of the product at the tail of the brow, not so much the front, just very little at the front. Also, I like to have a little piece of arch, you know, something cute. So we're gonna manipulate that as well. There is a trick that you guys have probably seen on social media, and this is going to determine where your brow should begin, where the arch should be, and where it should end. So if you take your pencil and line it up to like your nostril, line it directly up, that'll let you know where your brow should begin. You're gonna go directly through the pupil, and that should let you know where your arch should be. And then right from the corner of your eye, directly up, right? That's where your brow should end. I do want to remind you guys, all of this it's all personal taste. This is just like the basics. So, you know, if that's not how you like your brow, you like your arch somewhere else, girl, do you. If you want your brows longer, that's on you, okay? But that is just like the basic steps. I like to start my brows where I find that I need more work in, right? So that is going to be around this area where my arch is supposed to be in the tail. So what I like to do is I like to kind of draw my arch, right, as like a little guide. It's kind of like when you're drawing or you're coloring, you do the outline and then you fill in. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go like this. Do you see that? I'm just kind of creating where I want the arch. Boom. Like that. So that's just kind of giving me a little bit of a guide. Now what you want to do is create little brow hairs by doing little swipes like this. I'm gonna go in my brow and I'm just gonna do these little swipes. Now remember, the more pressure you put, the more product you're going to disperse, right? So if you don't want your brows to be super harsh and dark, you're going to use more of a lighter hand. And you're just going to follow the natural direction of your brow hairs. So right here, my brow hairs kind of go sideways. So I'm going sideways and then they go down. So then I'm going down. Keep that hand nice and light. So you can already see that brow is coming to life. And as I get to the front of my brow, I'm going lighter and lighter. The brow hairs in the front tend to go more upward, so I'm lightly drawing upward. So that's pretty much what we want. Now to keep the front light, this is where a lot of people mess up and be looking a little crazy. Take your spoolie, have it vertical, and just brush up. Brush up, babe. That's all you gotta do. Because we want that front of the brow to be nice and light. That's what's gonna keep your brows looking natural. Now, if you're somebody that likes a thicker brow, you can go thicker, whatever makes your heart happy. But wherever you find that you put a little bit too much product, if it looks too harsh, you're gonna use that spoolie just to brush it out around that arch, because that's what I need. Boom. So that's what you want right there. You guys can see the difference. Here's my brow without any product. It's just that translucent powder. And here's my brow with the pencil. Now you can definitely stop right here if you want. This is definitely giving more of a natural look. But personally for me, I like the sculpted brow look, and I know a lot of people probably do. So I'm going to sculpt my brows. So we're going to put another product into play here. Now this is where you want to use a concealer or a foundation, something of your complexion. Now I remember back in the day, we used to use something super light to give us like this halo brow effect. We don't want that. That's not cute. We're not doing that anymore. If you want to get a little fancy, you want to have two shades. You want to have like a lighter shade and then underneath just to give a highlight to your brow, but then your exact complexion on top. You are more than welcome to do that. Personally, for me, I don't like that. When it comes to the product you are using, you want to use something that you have more control of. You don't want a liquidy product that's going to move around, because you're going to mess up a lot easier with that. With that being said, I like to use either a cream concealer or a cream foundation, something just of a thicker consistency. For me, I like to use the MAC Studio Fix foundation stick. I have it in the shade NC44, which is my exact foundation color. This is a nice thick consistency, so it allows me to have a lot more control. As far as brushes are concerned, I like a flat concealer brush. I feel like they are the best to use when you are doing your brows. Because I want this to be as informative as possible, I'm going to show you 3 different brushes, all similar but all different price points. These are the 3 brushes that I typically use to do my brows. They're all concealer brushes, and they are all flat synthetic brushes. Why am I using a synthetic brush, you may ask? When it comes to natural hair brushes, they tend to soak up more product. Synthetic brushes are going to leave the product right on the brush and put it where you need to go. And that's what we want when it comes to this type of product. We want something synthetic and something flat that's really going to help you do that arch, right? So the first one that I have here for those fancy girls, this is the MAC 242 brush, synthetic, it's flat. Personally, one of my favorites, but I understand if it's not in your budget, that makes total sense. Then we go to the middle bougie girls, right? So this is the Inglot brush. This is the 22T. This is personally my favorite. Another flat brush. And then lastly, for those girls that are balling on a budget, we have the Morphe M421. Now, only thing with this one, I do find the hairs to be a lot shorter than the MAC and the Inglot one, as well as it's a little bit fatter. So it's not my favorite to use, and I'm pretty sure they have something closer to the ones that I have, but this is just what I have on hand. So I am going to use my Inglot 22T brush, and I am going to coat both sides of it using the Studio Fix foundation stick. Coating both sides of it is really going to make the brush nice and thin. Now, I personally like to start at the bottom of my brows. Now, working in MAC and teaching people how to do their brows quite often, I know the common mistake that they make, and they kind of go like this when trying to shape their brows. You want this to be a very smooth transition, right? So I'm going to start at the front of my brows, and you see I'm just pressing and I'm dragging it along. Press, drag. Typically my arch and my tail is what I have to clean up the most. So I'm going to press and I'm going to drag. Like that. Now, there's so many benefits to using this. One, it gives you like a really fierce brow look, but two, it cleans up any mistakes that you may have made, and three, if you haven't gotten your brows done in a minute, it definitely conceals the hair to make it look like you just got your brows done. So that is the reasons why I personally love to do this. Swipe. Now, a tip that I find to be the easiest for people is to drag that concealer downward, because this is going to make the blending process a lot easier. When you keep that concealer nice and tight, I know that a lot of people tend to mess up the work that they put because they're like trying to blend, but it's too tight, so now they're messing up their brow. So drag that concealer away from the brow. So now that we have the bottom, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the top. So coat both sides of your brush with your concealing product, whether it's concealer or foundation. I'm gonna start at the front, then we're gonna drag. I'm gonna go around that arch. You wanna be really careful around that arch. Take your time. Now I kind of cut off my tail a little bit, so I'm gonna fix that. That's no big deal. So same thing how I drag the concealer away from my brow by dragging downward. We're gonna take this concealer at the top and we're gonna drag it upward. Just get it away from your brow. The next step you wanna do is blend. You can use a blending brush, you can use something a little bit more dense. I like to use like these synthetic, I don't even know what these are called. These are like cheap brushes that you can find like on Amazon. They're kind of fluffy little brushes. I have most of them are from Amazon now that I think about it, but you could use any kind of brush, anything that is meant for blending, right? So what I like to do is go ahead and blend that out. I'm just kind of tapping it in here. Now, a little trick for the front of the brow, if you want it to look really, really natural and not boxy, when you start to blend it, you actually want to tap a little bit on the front of your brow. Allow that concealer to kind of go into your brow, because what that's going to do is just make that front look a little bit more natural. You could drag it, you could do a little circle, whatever you want to do, whatever feels right for you. And that is honestly all there is to it. For the very, very last step, I like to use a brow gel. My personal favorite is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. To me, Benefit has the best brow products. Anastasia has some really good ones too. Is there a dupe for this brow gel? I'm sure there is, but personally for me, this is just it for me. Like, this is it. It has a flat side, so I like to put some of the gel onto the hair. I like the front of my brows to go upward, so I'm gonna brush the front of my brows upward. And you just wanna coat your brow with that clear gel. It's just gonna keep the hairs nice and in place all day long. Super easy. And that's all there is to it, to creating your brow. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the other one. I'm not gonna talk through it. We're just gonna speed through it. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn, let it burn. Hey. So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
Alright guys, and I am back, and this is just like the completed look. I know this video is focusing on the brows, but now we see how the brows tie in with the whole makeup look. This makeup look I did not film for any of the beginning things, but if you see something that you're interested in trying or you want to like learn how to do, please do not hesitate to let me know down in the comments and I would do that for you. But today was solely just focused on brows, so I hope that these tips and tricks helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will also link everything that I use for my brows down in the description box so you guys can go ahead and purchase and, you know, try it out for yourself. Good luck on your brows. If you decide to post any pictures or any videos of you trying like on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, please be sure to tag me at It's Casey Joe or hashtag It's Casey Joe, because I would love to check it out and see how you guys are doing. I hope this video was super informative and helpful. I love you so much. Do not forget to subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.